Imagine a patient, let's call her Sarah, who relies on a specific medication to manage her heart condition. She takes one small pill every morning, trusting that it contains the precise ingredients at the exact dose her doctor prescribed. Now, picture the factory where this pill is made. A small, seemingly insignificant error occurs in the paperwork. A technician misreads a handwritten note or uses an outdated version of the manufacturing instructions. Instead of adding 10 milligrams of the active ingredient, they add 100 milligrams. This single mistake, born from a documentation error, creates a batch of pills that are dangerously potent. The medicine meant to help could now cause serious harm. This kind of scenario, while frightening, highlights a fundamental truth in the world of medicine. Every pill, every vaccine, every treatment is the end result of a long and incredibly detailed process. This process is guided not just by scientists in labs but by documents. These documents are the blueprints, the recipes, and the rulebooks for making safe and effective medicine. They detail everything from the chemical formula of a drug to the cleaning schedule for the equipment used to make it. A misplaced decimal point, a smudged signature, or a lost page can have consequences that ripple all the way from the factory floor to a patient's bedside. This is why the pharmaceutical industry is built on a foundation of trust, and that trust is maintained through meticulous record-keeping. Think about it like building a skyscraper. You would never want the construction crew using an old, unapproved version of the architectural plans. You would want them to have the most current, most accurate, and most thoroughly checked blueprint available. The same principle applies with even higher stakes to manufacturing medicines. In the past, this was all managed with paper, towering filing cabinets, binders overflowing with pages, and the constant risk of fire, water damage, or simple human error leading to a lost or incorrect document. This is where the critical need for a better system becomes so clear. The potential for error with paper-based systems is immense. A crucial approval form could be sitting on the wrong desk. A vital update to a manufacturing process might not reach every technician on the shift. When an auditor from a regulatory agency like the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, arrives, finding a specific document from 3 years ago could turn into a frantic, time-consuming search through a dusty storeroom. The industry needed a way to manage its most critical asset, its information, with the same precision and care it uses to create its products. This need paved the way for a digital revolution in pharmaceutical documentation. So, how do we solve the problem of misplaced papers and outdated instructions? The answer is a document management system, or DMS. In simple terms, a DMS is like a highly intelligent, super secure digital library built specifically for the pharmaceutical industry. It's not just a folder on a computer where you save files, it's a sophisticated software platform designed to control the entire life cycle of every important document a company creates and uses. From the initial draft of a new drug's formula to the final report on a clinical trial, the DMS manages it all in one centralized, controlled, and trackable environment. Think of it this way: instead of having file cabinets scattered across different departments and even different countries, a DMS brings everything into one digital space. This system acts as the single source of truth. When a scientist needs the latest approved procedure for a lab test, they don't have to ask around or search through a shared drive hoping they find the right version. They log into the DMS and the system delivers the one and only correct, current, and approved version. This eliminates the confusion and risk associated with using outdated or incorrect information, which, as we saw with Sarah's story, can have devastating consequences. The role of a DMS goes far beyond simple storage. It's an active manager of information. The system is programmed with the company's rules and the stringent regulations set by governing bodies like the FDA. It enforces these rules automatically. For example, it can ensure that a document cannot be used in the manufacturing process until it has been reviewed by the Quality Control Department and officially approved by the head of manufacturing. It keeps a detailed log of every single action taken on a document: who viewed it, who edited it, who approved it, and when. This creates a complete, unchangeable history, known as an audit trail. This digital guardian ensures that the right people have access to the right information at the right time, and just as importantly, prevents the wrong people from accessing or changing sensitive data. It's a system built on principles of control, traceability, and integrity. In the high-stakes pharmaceutical world, where patient safety and regulatory compliance are paramount, a DMS is not just a helpful tool, it is an essential component of modern medicine making. It transforms the chaotic world of paper documents into a streamlined, secure, and compliant digital workflow, ensuring consistency and quality from start to finish. The journey of any document within a document management system begins with its creation. This isn't just about typing up a new file. In a pharmaceutical setting, creation is a highly structured process. A scientist might need to draft a new standard operating procedure, or SOP, for calibrating a sensitive piece of laboratory equipment. Using the DMS, they would start with a pre-approved template. This template ensures that all necessary information is included from the very beginning, such as a document number, a version number, an author field, and sections for approvals. This standardization is the first step in preventing errors and ensuring consistency across the entire organization. Once the draft is written, it is saved directly into the DMS, not onto a personal computer or a random network folder. This is a critical step. From the moment it is saved, the document is officially inside the controlled system. It is immediately tagged with metadata, keywords, document type, department, and other identifiers that make it easy to find later. The system also assigns it a status, such as draft or in progress. This means that no one can mistake this unfinished version for an approved final document. It is securely held within the system, protected from unauthorized changes or accidental deletion, awaiting the next steps in its life cycle. Storage within a DMS is far more advanced than just saving a file. The system acts as a digital vault. All documents are stored in a centralized, secure repository. This eliminates the risks associated with physical paper like fire, floods, or simple misplacement. It also solves the problem of having multiple, conflicting versions of a document saved in different places. With a DMS, there is only one master location for each document. When an employee needs to access it, they are accessing the one true version from this central vault, ensuring everyone is working from the same playbook. Furthermore, this centralized storage is designed for long-term integrity. Pharmaceutical companies are required to keep records for many years, sometimes decades. A DMS ensures that these documents remain accessible and readable over that entire period, safe from data corruption or technological obsolescence. The system automatically backs up data and has disaster recovery plans in place. This secure, intelligent storage means that a record from a batch of medicine made 10 years ago can be retrieved with the same ease and confidence as a document created yesterday, providing a reliable historical record that is always on hand. After a document is created and safely stored in the DMS, it cannot be used until it undergoes a rigorous review and approval process. This is where the system's automated workflow capabilities truly shine. The author of the document, let's say the scientist who wrote the new SOP, submits it for review directly within the system. The DMS then automatically routes the document to a predefined list of reviewers. This list isn't random, it's based on company rules. For an SOP, it might include the head of the laboratory, a quality assurance specialist, and a safety officer. Each reviewer receives a notification that a document is awaiting their attention. They can open the document directly within the DMS, read it, and add comments or suggest changes. This entire conversation happens digitally, right alongside the document itself. There are no more back and forth emails with different attachments, which often leads to confusion about which version is the most recent. All feedback is consolidated in one place, creating a clear and traceable record of the review process. The author can see all the comments, make the necessary edits, and then submit a revised version for another round of review if needed. Once all reviewers are satisfied with the document's content and accuracy, it moves to the final approval stage. This is the official sign-off that declares the document fit for use. The designated approvers, often senior managers or department heads, are notified by the DMS. They perform a final check and then provide their approval using a secure electronic signature. This is not just a typed name, it's a legally binding, encrypted signature that is linked to the user's unique login credentials. This process is compliant with regulations like the FDA's 21 CFR Part 11, which sets the standards for electronic records and signatures. Once the final electronic signature is applied, the DMS automatically changes the document's status from draft to approved or effective. At this very moment, the system makes this new approved version the official one. If there was an older version of the same document, the DMS automatically archives it, ensuring that no one can accidentally use the outdated procedure. This seamless automated transition is crucial. It guarantees that as soon as a new process is approved, it becomes the only one available for use on the factory floor or in the lab, preventing errors and ensuring everyone follows the most current, safest procedures. A document is only useful if you can find it when you need it. In the old paper world, retrieving a specific document could be, well, a nightmare. Imagine a regulatory auditor asking to see the training records for every technician who worked on a specific batch of medicine 5 years ago. This could trigger a frantic multi-day search through boxes in a dusty warehouse. A document management system completely transforms this experience, turning a daunting task into a simple search. The ability to quickly and accurately retrieve information is, honestly, one of the most powerful features of a DMS. Every document stored in the DMS is indexed using its content and its metadata, those descriptive tags we talked about earlier. This means you can search not just by the document's title, but by almost any piece of information associated with it. You can search by the author, the approval date, the document type, like SOP or batch record, or even keywords within the text of the document itself. So, to find those training records, an employee could simply type in the batch number and the date range, and the DMS would instantly pull up a list of all relevant documents. This powerful search capability is critical during audits and inspections. When a regulator from the FDA or the European Medicines Agency, or EMA, is on site, they expect to see requested documents promptly. Delays in producing records can raise red flags and suggest that a company's processes are not under control. With a DMS, a company can project confidence and competence. The auditor asks for a specific validation report, and an employee can retrieve it on a screen within seconds. This demonstrates a high level of organization and control, which is exactly what regulators want to see. Beyond audits, easy retrieval is essential for daily operations. A manufacturing technician on the night shift might need to double-check a specific step in a production process. Instead of leaving their station to find a physical binder, they can access the DMS from a nearby terminal, search for the relevant SOP, and have the correct approved procedure in front of them in moments. This immediate access to information helps prevent mistakes, improves efficiency, and ensures that every employee on every shift is empowered with the knowledge they need to do their job correctly and safely. In the pharmaceutical industry, information is incredibly valuable. A new drug formula or the results of a groundbreaking clinical trial are priceless intellectual property. Protecting this information from unauthorized access, both internally and from outside threats, is a top priority. A document management system provides robust security features that act like a digital fortress around a company's most sensitive data. Unlike a physical filing cabinet that can be opened with a simple key, a DMS employs multiple layers of sophisticated security controls. The first line of defense is access control. Not everyone in the company needs to see every document. A scientist in research and development should not be able to view employee salary information from the HR department. A DMS allows administrators to set granular permissions for every single user. These permissions dictate who can view, edit, print, or share specific documents or folders. Access is typically based on a user's role, department, or training level. This role-based security ensures that employees only have access to the information that is directly relevant to their jobs, minimizing the risk of accidental or intentional data breaches. Another critical security feature is the audit trail. As mentioned before, the DMS records every single action performed on a document. It tracks who opened a file, what changes they made, when they approved it, and who they shared it with. This creates a detailed, time-stamped log that is tamper-proof. If a sensitive document is ever leaked or an unauthorized change is made, the audit trail provides a complete forensic record. This accountability is a powerful deterrent against misconduct and provides investigators with the exact information they need to understand what happened, how it happened, and who was responsible. Finally, a DMS protects data through encryption. This means that all the documents stored in the system are scrambled into an unreadable code. Only authorized users with the correct credentials can unscramble and view the information. This protects the data both at rest, when it is being stored on the server, and in transit, when it is being accessed over the network. Even if a cybercriminal were to somehow bypass the network firewall and steal the raw data from the server, the encryption would render it completely useless to them. This level of security is essential for protecting trade secrets and complying with data privacy regulations. For pharmaceutical companies, following the rules is not optional. They operate in one of the most heavily regulated industries in the world. Regulatory bodies like the FDA in the United States have strict rules, known as good manufacturing practices, that govern every aspect of drug production. A huge part of these regulations focuses on documentation. The unofficial motto is often, "If it wasn't documented, it didn't happen." This is where a document management system becomes a company's best friend in achieving and maintaining compliance. A DMS is designed with these regulations in mind. Features like electronic signatures, version control, and audit trails are not just convenient, they are built to meet specific regulatory requirements such as the FDA's 21 CFR Part 11. This rule dictates the standards for ensuring that electronic records are just as trustworthy and reliable as paper records. By using a validated DMS, a company can demonstrate to auditors that its digital records are authentic, have integrity, and are confidential. The system essentially automates compliance, making it much harder for employees to make mistakes that could lead to regulatory violations. Consider the process of training. Regulators require that all employees are properly trained for their specific roles, and that this training is documented. A DMS can manage this entire process. It can house all the training materials, track which employees have completed which courses, and even automatically notify employees when their next required training is due. When an auditor asks for proof that a specific technician was trained on a new piece of equipment before using it, the manager can instantly pull up the technician's complete time-stamped training record from the DMS. This provides clear, indisputable evidence of compliance. This system also makes audits themselves much less stressful and disruptive. Instead of company staff spending days gathering paper documents for an inspection, they can grant the auditor temporary, read-only access to specific sections of the DMS. The auditor can then efficiently find the information they need themselves. This transparency and efficiency builds trust with regulators. It shows that the company is well organized, has its processes under control, and is committed to quality. A DMS transforms compliance from a burdensome chore into a streamlined, integrated part of daily operations. It might be hard to see the direct line from a software system to a patient's health, but the connection is powerful and direct. Every time a document management system prevents an error, it is protecting a potential patient. Think back to our example of the wrong pill dosage. In a company using a robust DMS, that error would be far less likely to happen. The manufacturing instructions would be a controlled document. The technician would access the single approved version from a terminal. Any changes to that formula would have gone through a rigorous, multi-step review and approval process, with every step documented. The quality and consistency of medicine rely on the quality and consistency of the documentation behind it. A DMS enforces this consistency. It ensures that the same drug is made the exact same way, following the exact same approved process, every single time, no matter which factory it's made in or which shift is on duty. This uniformity is the bedrock of drug quality. Patients need to trust that the pill they take today is identical in safety and effectiveness to the one they took last month and the one they will take next month. A DMS is the tool that makes this level of consistency possible on a global scale. Furthermore, a DMS plays a critical role in the event of a problem. Imagine a report comes in about a potential side effect associated with a specific batch of medicine. The company needs to investigate immediately. Using the DMS, they can instantly retrieve the complete history of that batch, known as the batch record. This document contains every detail about its production, the raw materials used and their sources, the equipment it was made on, the results of all quality checks, and the personnel who worked on it. This allows investigators to quickly pinpoint any potential issues or deviations from the standard process. This ability to rapidly trace a product's history is vital for patient safety. If a recall is necessary, the company can act swiftly and precisely, identifying exactly which batches are affected and where they were distributed. The speed and accuracy afforded by the DMS can make a significant difference in minimizing the number of patients exposed to a potentially harmful product. In this way, the system acts as a crucial safety net, providing the traceability needed to protect public health when things go wrong, and ensuring problems can be contained quickly and effectively. In the end, a document management system is much more than just a sophisticated filing cabinet. It is the unseen guardian of pharmaceutical quality and patient safety. It is the central nervous system of a modern pharmaceutical company, connecting every department and every step of the process with a web of controlled, reliable, and traceable information. From the earliest stages of research and development to the final release of a product to the public, the DMS stands watch, ensuring that rules are followed, standards are met, and no detail is left to chance. The true impact of this technology is measured in the errors it prevents. It prevents a technician from using an outdated formula. It prevents an unapproved document from being released. It prevents critical data from being lost or altered. Each of these preventative actions is a victory for quality and a safeguard for the patient who will ultimately use that medicine. The system builds a culture of accountability and precision, where following the correct procedure is not just the best practice, but the only possible path. This is how trust in our medicines is built and maintained. For those working within the industry, a DMS simplifies complexity and reduces risk. It empowers them with instant access to the correct information, freeing them from the burden of navigating confusing paper trails. This allows them to focus on what they do best: developing, manufacturing, and testing life-saving drugs. For regulators, it provides a transparent window into a company's operations, making it easier to verify that public safety is being protected. This partnership between industry and regulators, facilitated by technology, is essential for a safe global drug supply. So, the next time you open a bottle of medicine, take a moment to consider the immense and intricate journey it has taken. Think of the thousands of documents, the formulas, procedures, test results, and reports that guided its creation. Behind it all is a system, a silent and vigilant guardian, ensuring that every step of that journey was documented, verified, and controlled. This is the promise of a document management system: to simplify complexity, enforce compliance, and most importantly, protect the health and safety of every single patient.